Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry here, Coach Jerry here, and welcome to this video. I'm going live on my page instead of the group because I want a quick announcement here. For those of you taking a challenge into the group, you're going to see this content in my page in the next few days because there is a weird algorithm restriction, whatever, like on some of the content in the group. Therefore, from next Sunday, you're going to see things as normal. Right now, this is your exit call. So if you're taking the challenge inside the group, you might want to jump on in this video here. I'm gonna tag you regardless, and you hopefully got some results. Like I see a lot of people getting results inside the challenge, and it's amazing. And I'm really proud of the people that posted, the people that engaged, because that means that finally you understood that in order for you to get results when it comes to reducing your weight, keeping your weight off, changing body composition, and this is overall view of the group, but specifically in this challenge was to 10 days of balancing blood sugar challenge. Hopefully, I was able to give you some breakthroughs. Hopefully, I was able to shift some beliefs, because when people do something versus people that don't and get results, is because you are able to, whatever the belief you have around what you should do, whatever things are, if I'm able to disrupt this belief and give you a new belief, then you get results. And the reality is that for most people that struggle with insulin resistance or prediabetes or even diabetes, there is this belief that you cannot fix it, or you cannot, or it's impossible, or it's difficult to fix it. And the first thing, of course, means that you would see whatever you can measure, and the measurements are usually taking your blood sugar and seeing this blood sugar not behaving how it's supposed to, how you believe it should. And as a result, then of course, you build beliefs. Your reality is that you do, like, it might work for somebody else, but it's not working for you. And not working for you means that you do not see results, and you feel like it's impossible to see results. Now, what I was able to do with those of you that finally posted is teach you, how to eat, how to measure, how to test stuff, and you probably understood that it is not the breakthrough is not about what you should do and then that's it. It's about being able to do something, test an hypothesis, get a results, getting data, and then optimize based on the data. For those of you that did, I know that you got a huge results, and I'm happy to for some of you that to see really blood sugar pattern changing in a matter of days. As I said, this would be the case, and glad to see that some of you really took the risk and tried and got results. Now, why is this call, like today is day number 9, and tomorrow is gonna be number 10. And I'm gonna ask for you to post inside the group. What is this call important? Because when you and this title was what do you do with results? When you get results, how do you maintain results? It could be, you balance your blood sugar, now you got a results, how do you maintain it, or where do you go from here? It could be that you have lost weight, and how do you maintain it, how do you keep it off? It could be several things, but what do you do? And because this is important, because 90% of the people, when it comes to getting results in your health, it really comes down to, I'm just gonna check that this thing is actually going live inside the page. It is perfect. Now, how do you maintain results? 90% of the people, unfortunately, lose the results in a span of 2 weeks to maybe a year. And obviously, even if it's a year, it's not really a results when you lose the results, right? And this is why clinically there is no data to say that you can put diabetes on remission, because there is no real understanding of keep remission, meaning like you do not just do something for a while and then you stop and then you just quit. You just need to shift behaviors and habits so that you can maintain whatever you've done in the first place. Now, this tells me, this gives me the frame for the day number 9. The day number 9 is for you to maintain results. Is basically in whatever you tested, whatever hypothesis you came up with, is basically track that and fit that into a plan. Setting goals, setting a plan, and executing on the plan. That means that you're going to have to learn to stay away from things such as supplements, from quick fixes, from whatever you're marketed on a daily basis. Whether you're marketed in on the media, whether you're marketed from your professionals, whatever the case is, you need to be able to recognize what works and what doesn't work. Okay, and in order to do that, you need to live in I always say you need to live in frames. You need to live to be able to understand a pathway, a system that needs to get you to the results that you need to get, right? When we're talking about results, let me just see if I can share that, because this is going to be a part of you understanding what needs to happen here. Sharing screen, sharing pictures. Let's see if it's this picture. See if it's this picture. Yes, perfect. Now, okay, perfect. So you see here, right? You need to be able to live in frames. This is basically the frame of our system. There is like 4 separate steps that any person with insulin resistance, whether you're diabetic or pre-diabetics, you need to go through, right? When I hear stuff like, I cannot lose weight because I'm insulin resistant, like you would be in phase number 3, and you do not understand that you need to probably fix phase number 2 first, right? Most of the people struggle with the metabolism because the metabolism is adapted. They are not able to then go to lose weight because they are not able to understand that your body is not yet good to lose weight, right? And most of the time because you chose to do several diets before. What we did this week was really going to phase number 1. Phase number one shows you the, let's see if I can put it up again. Yeah. Phase number 1 shows you exactly that you need to balance your blood sugar first if you want even to have a chance to balance your metabolism, right? So what you did right now is basically one step. But why I wanted to do that inside the group, and why it was so important for you to see some results, some wins, because if you did not see that happening, you would probably live to the reality that you've been stuck into until today, which is basically thinking that fixing the problem is impossible, and maybe even getting more confused than ever because you jump from one diet to another diet, then you ask to whatever coach or professional or whatever, or some of you even go to doctors, and then all you get is medicine when you don't want to hear medicine. The system which I'm telling you about, it's a system that can really fix the issue, dissecting the situation that we're into, right? So if we know that the cause of insulin resistance comes from and I'm going to share this picture at this point, the cause for insulin resistance comes from the imbalance of your hormones, for example, which will be the case, for example, with somebody that has a excess lipid disposition. For example, let's say you're a lady and you have a pear body shape, as you can see here. And this is, of course, this is not a clinical slide. It's almost like just to give you a sense of what's happening. If you have not only insulin resistant, but you also have cortisol and testosterone predisposition, chances are, your insulin resistance might not be caused only from what you're eating, right? So if we know that that's to be the case, that it's not caused only from what you're eating, now we know exactly what needs to take place for you to be able to see results, right? So if you know that the case is not only from, like, if you're clear on the fact of what creates your insulin resistance, and you know that your body is mostly insulin resistant at the level of the brain, for example, which of course would be something that you need to test and you need to assess. We now know what better strategy it is. So there is probably not a good idea then to go things such as fasting or keto or something of very restricting methodology, because that's going to exacerbate your metabolic compensation, right? So as you see, everything is interconnected, right? Now, why is this important? Because as you establish that you have some wins on balancing your blood sugar, chances are you're a person that get to do the work. Chances are you have a reactive body. Chances are you're on the right track. Now, why is it important for you to connect the dots and really go to the next step? Because I think I show you, like, inside a group that we created a program or a course. And again, I'm going to show you real quick what that looks like on the entire screen. Let's see. There you go. So if, like, you know that this is basically the system that we created, right? Like, it's a system step by step on really on all these phases, shows you pretty much everything that you need to do when it comes to control and assess how to restore your metabolism. You know, there is real videos in there, there is spreadsheets, and of course then there is at least like 10 modules of how to, you know, how to measure your carbs, how to manage your hunger, what really creates the problem in the first place, and obviously heat for insulin sensitivity. There is several things tactically that needs to happen. Yet the most important part is you understanding that you need to get an audit. Is you understanding that you need to see what got you there in the first place and how can we fix it. Okay, why did I show you now the course that we created? Is because probably like a couple of weeks ago, before we started the challenge, I said that I was gonna release that that new website, probably to a huge ass discount that you're never gonna see again. And I did that for a few days. Some people took it up the option and really believed me. Some other people didn't. And again, as we finish up this challenge for a few days, I'm gonna reopen the same offer. Okay, so if you haven't yet picked up that offer, understand, and probably within less than a week from now, that would be going up to regular price. Now, what I want you to do, because I think only you, I only really feel like you can see value when you feel value, right? What I need you to do next, it is not simply comment below that you want the course, but it's really to comment audit. Okay, audit means that you are going to jump in a call with me, and really, as I got to know you inside this challenge, I'm gonna really tell you exactly from here, where do you need to go. From here, we're gonna open up. We might even do it in Zoom or on the phone or whatever the case is. But we're really gonna open up the conversation in assessing your situation right now, like what's really happening, like where in the stage you are, as you are already in phase one, and finally are able to balance your blood sugar. We're really start gonna setting goals. The importance of like where you go from here, how do you keep results, is basically not losing the one you got, right? And how do you not lose the one you got is you setting a plan, executing on the plan, and figuring out, getting clear on where in the plan you are in order for you to go to total insulin resistant reversal, which can be done, as you see here, in 90 days without needing medicine or minimizing medicine, and also without having like a crazy nutritional approach. Now, it's up to you if you want to pass it, take it on, but like I can tell you that if you are jumping on this call with me, we're gonna get really clear, and on top of that, I'm really gonna be able to offer you something special when it comes to the course, in case that you want to take it up. You know, I had an amazing offer already, and there is going to be something special for those of you that are joining this call. So what I want you to do right now, comment down below audit. I'm going to reach out specifically with you, either probably Messenger, and we're going to go from there and see what's the next step are. Amazing work for those of you that took the challenge. I'm really proud of you, and I'm going to see you on the next video.